Technotut, and today I'm gonna talk about SASS. So before I get into SASS and tell you what SASS offers you for your CSS, I'll just let you know the types of SASS. So there are basically two types of SASS, which you have to choose any one. It's important to know the types of SASS, and you have to choose any one of them. So make sure you choose any one of them. Doesn't matter. You can still be able to follow me along. The complete tutorial, the complete series wouldn't be matter much. It doesn't mind if you choose the opposite side of me. You will still be able to follow along, and there's not much differences. There are a bit of difference when you're writing those and compiling it, so it doesn't matter much, so don't worry about it. So I'll just let you know what are the differences in this tutorial quickly, and let's get started. So before I get right into the tutorial, I'll just let you know, guys, that if I'm using CodePen here, which is auto compiling my SASS and SCSS. Before that, you want to know how to do it manually, you should watch my previous tutorial because it's shown how you can do it manually. And so I'm using CodePen for the convenience of the tutorial. I don't have to do that manually, but don't worry, I'll just cover those in the future. So just to show just the types, what I'm going in you can come in the CodePen. I'll go in the settings. I'll just first of all I'll demonstrate the types as SCSS. You can see here, I'll just save and close. And what I'll do, I'll just target the body just quickly and just give it a background red. And you can see there's not much difference in SCSS and CSS, normal CSS syntax. And now the actual difference come here is when you gonna nest it. So you can see in the HTML what I have is I have a div body. It'll just, you see the compiled. I'm using Jade here, so I'll just click view compile Jade. So inside the body what I have is actually a div class have body. So inside that I'll just simply, you can see I'll just targeting the body inside the body. So I'll just name the class body. You can see this is called nesting, and I just targeting specifically to that div. What I'm doing here is I'll just make it a background. Oops, I'll just make it a background blue, and I'll just give it a height of 10 pixels. So you can see it's compiled up here, and if you can see the compiled CSS, what it is, you can go to view compiled CSS, and you can see the compiled part is it's targeting the body element, the first one, and the second one which we wrote inside here is actually it's targeting the specifically body class, div class body inside the body. So that's pretty confusing, but still just get up to it that this is a nesting technique. And I'm just not going to show you up here of the detail. I'll just cover those in the next tutorial. Don't worry about that much. Now as you can see, this is how you write normal SCSS, and it's not much different from CSS except the nesting and variable parts, which I'm going to go cover in the future. So there's not much difference. You can still bear with that. You still are familiar with the curly braces in here. So in the second type is SASS. Now the SASS is pretty different. And you can just go for the SASS file with 7 close. You can see here's the error simply. Now if you want to write a SASS and you want to go for this, then what you have to do is simply just remove the curly braces first of all, and it works on text indentation. So if you like if you didn't just directly go for like background, it will understand that background is some other attribute or some other element. You have to do is give some indentation. 2 is enough, 2 spaces, and then just write the attribute name. I'll just go with the background, and now make sure you give a space after the colon or else it won't work. It's the rule how you write it. So I'll give it red, and I've saved that. You can see it's working. I'll just show you the compiled one, compiled CSS, and you can see here what it is happening here. It's compiling, it's adding the curly braces on its own, it's adding the semicolon on its own, and that's all what it's doing on its own. You just have to do is just write those attributes here, just like background red and all the things. Just have to write the attributes, and that's what's happening here. It's just compiling itself. And if I want to target something like nesting in here, I'll just go a bit in. I'll just have class.body, and inside that I'll just write background, and make sure to give it a space after colon or else it won't work. So blue, and I'll just give it a height of 10 pixels. See, there's a time saving something. You can see this happening here, the same thing, except it's saving my time. Here, I'll just don't have to use curly braces and semicolon. Now, sometimes it may get confusing in these huge style sheets where you have multiple lines of or thousands of lines of CSS, and you want to find out where it's nesting. So that may get a bit confusing, but you can see if we want to save your time writing the CSS, this is the best way to go. So you can see the view compile CSS, what's happening here is the same, but you can see that there's the difference in writing those CSS and SCSS and SASS files. So it's up to you guys to choose anyone which you want. It's your personal choice. If you want to go without the curly braces or semicolon, it's up to you. If you want to go with the curly braces and you don't if you do you get confused, you want to go with curly braces, SCSS is your part. Now what I choose is SCSS because sometimes I really get confused with the text indentation. Now the SASS basically works on text indentation, so it's like if I remove the indentation and make it perfect, I'll just go for save it here. I'll just make sure there are like 2 spaces because all the documents, it's normal something, it's up to you if you want to use for 3 spaces, 2 spaces, it's up to indentation. So if I do view compile CSS right now, you'll see that what's happening here. It's not just specifically targeting a body div inside a body element. It's just targeting all the body element on the page. So as you can see how the text indentation matters in SASS files. Now these are the main difference, and they have their own drawbacks and they have their own benefits. It's up to you guys what's your drawbacks and what's your benefit in the coding, and choose any one of them. I'll go for SCSS in this series because sometimes some people may get confused on what is happening here, and SCSS will make it much more clearer, and I'll just go for SCSS. So that's it guys, that's it for this tutorial. If you like this tutorial, just give it a thumbs up and just let me know how you felt about the tutorial. And I know it's been quite a time I haven't been creating tutorials, but it's one of my starting, and I'll be creating tutorial regularly from right now. And sorry for being such a lazy guy for you guys, and thanks for watching guys. Keep up the good work. Thanks for giving me so much support. I'll just reach the 5K subscribers recently, so thanks for the support guys. Love you all. See you in the next tutorial.